Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Sox On Tap.
Tony, my first reaction is just, fuck yes, let's go.
Sox versus the Twins. That's where it all starts. Because it all starts taking care of business in-house in the Central Division.
That's right, I'm a meatball.
You got to bring that top button swag, baby.
It is always great to beat the Cubs.
And I'm a homer, so I always say they're gonna.
Dallas Keuchel Lamson got some beards that you should be afraid of.
What everybody said when he gets out there, it's me versus the other guy, and I'm going to beat him. So I just love that mentality. It's cool and fucking tough.
Steve, would you say that Tony is mad online?
I would definitely say that.
The White Sox winner.
Hello, White Sox fans, and welcome into Sox On Tap. I am Johnny Nani, joined today by Tony Marchese and a very special guest, Mr. Jake Berger from the Chicago White Sox. Jake, first of all, it is great to see you, and it is great to have some baseball content in our lives.
Yeah, no, it's great to be on here. I love talking baseball, so it's cool that we're getting this opportunity to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you joining us. And beyond baseball, we've got a really, really cool topic, initiative that you started, B.O.M.B.S. That will be the main focus of today's show. Tony, you were the one that got in touch with Jake regarding this matter. How excited are you to get to talk to him here?
I'm excited to talk to Jake again. Jake, we've spoke once before back on Chi Sox Weekly. Johnny, I think you were, I don't remember if you were on that episode or not, but yeah, it's great to have you back on, Jake. I'm really excited to talk about everything that you've been launching here. And yeah, man, the fact that we're actually getting to talk about some baseball stuff is just absolutely awesome. I got to do it last night on the Crosstown show with our guy Cody, and we're back here today, Sox on Tap, talking more White Sox specific stuff. It's great to have you on, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, Jake, so first of all, just how is the offseason going for you so far before we really dive into the nitty gritty here?
Yeah, it's going well so far. I'm living in Nashville again. I have a facility down here, like Brandon Lau, Brent Rooker, Daniel Lynch, a lot of guys kind of my age that are working out every single day together. So it's really cool to have that community, and so it's going well so far, and swing's still there, so that's a good thing.
Glad to hear that, man. It's an interesting place that you picked to live in, though. Nashville, not one of my favorite places in the world, and we're gonna have to go there. You're a big Blackhawks fan, aren't you, Jake? What are you doing down in Nashville?
I mean, I would love to live in Chicago if they had a facility like this. No, it's good because I get to watch them more than I would have anywhere else. So that's good. Like in division, and the Coyotes switched over obviously too. So. That's a team I went to all the time when I was rehabbing, went to a lot of games. So it's cool to have both of those teams come into Nashville 2 or 3 times a year.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I was going to say, you're also getting out of the cold a little bit, but then I was like, wait, they just had snow.
Yeah,
and,
I was
frost
down
and ice this past week. So
I was just down there a week ago, and it was freezing.
It is actually kind of wild because like I grew up in St. Louis, so like you're used to the snow, you're used to snow plows. Yeah, you might get a day off for here or there, but for school, but the whole city just shuts down here. There's no snow plows. There's really nothing. And so everybody that's driving on the road during it's definitely a northerner, and I was one of those. But it's funny watching the southerners down here try and drive through that.
Yeah, so is that like a tea work in the garage kind of day when nobody can go anywhere?
Oh yeah. Hop on the Peloton, do some Peloton yoga, hit some balls into the snow. That's about it. Throw the ball for my dog, get the arm care in as well.
Right. Yeah, you got to do that. But overall, though, weather a little bit nicer, obviously, than it is back here in Chicago. We've gotten some Arctic blasts as of late, so be thankful. It's a little bit warmer down there. Sure. I think we're about ready to jump right into this, Jake. Tell us about B.O.M.B.S. You posted the video to social media, blew up. Everybody wants to know what it's about, and we are no different. So the floor is yours.
Yeah, so I've been thinking about this for a really long time. Probably dates back to March 2020 when I first sent out that tweet about what I'd been dealing with to White Sox Twitter and everybody on Twitter. And the outpour I got from that tweet, just people thanking me for posting it, or people saying they've had similar battles, or somebody's going through it right now. It was just kind of overwhelming in a sense of there was just so many people that it touched. And after seeing that and recognizing that I do have a platform where I can push this forward and I can end the stigma on mental health, that's kind of when I decided, okay, now how do we do it? And obviously the last year and a half has kind of been a whirlwind for me in a collegiate league last summer, and went to the alt site, went to Instructs, then rolled right into the season. So I really haven't had that much time to really dive into this. So finally this off season, I've had some time to get my thoughts, to surround myself with a really good team. I have a really good friend that runs a marketing company, and my girlfriend runs a tech company. So it's really cool to have them two kind of by my side, able to push everything through with me. Because I'll tell you what, I don't know how to run a website by myself. So it's really cool to have a good team. But the B.O.M.B.S it's going to be a community. I really want it to be a place that people can come to and meet people, and somewhere that people can come to if they are in need or need some sort of help. So that's the basis of the community. The 5-week mini series that I talked about in the video, it's going to be stuff pertaining to what I used in my routine to get through my mental health battle. So it's an acronym, and it's B.O.M.B.S, the portion of B.O.M.B.S, it's B.O.M.B.S, and it's be open. So be able to talk about it, have friends, have family members, people that you can reach out to talk about what you've been dealing with and what you've been struggling with. So that's going to be 1 week of just strictly content on being open. Week 2 is going to be open a book. I think opening a book is something that a lot of us in this technological age, like, we forget about. And being able to turn off all of your screens, open up a book, and just you and the book, it's a form of meditation, in my opinion. And I think you'll learn a lot from that. Then week 3 is going to be meditation. That's something that I use to this day. I use it on the baseball field. I use it every single day, and it really helps me collect my thoughts. It's kind of one of those weird taboo topics, because I know more people are talking about it. But anytime you mention meditation, some people are like, no way I'm going to do that. But once they try it, they love it. So it's going to be a week on that. The next week's going to be active. I lost 30 pounds in my comeback journey. And I think being active, and I was Pelotoning, I was walking outside, swimming outside, stuff that gets your heart rate up outdoors. Kind of, it gives you this, like, these endorphins that just make you feel better and realize there's more to life than whatever you're doing, So that's the 4th week. And then the 5th week is set a routine. I still use that in and out of season. And I basically just write down a list of what I have to do, what time, every single day, right before I go to bed, for the next day. And I think that quells anxiety a little bit with, like, all right, where do I need to be next? And now I just have it on a piece of paper, and I can just go down the list and decide, what, like, the routine's set. So I'm going to follow the schedule, and that's it. So that's the 5 weeks. And then after that, we're going to release the website I've been working on. That's going to have a podcast on it with a special co-host. We're going to have, like, YouTube clips and videos. We're going to have blog posts from me and a lot of other people, a lot of other teammates that I've had that have dealt with mental health battles. And then also it'll have, like, apparel and different stuff like that. So I'm really excited for it. And, like, this is just the beginning, like the video said.
That's awesome, man. I'm really happy to hear that you've conquered those demons and now you're putting this to good work, Jake. I mean, that's awesome. And you brought up something there that, you just found the time to start to do this. I mean, I think a lot of people forget you were just coming off of some major surgery, some rehab, and getting into the major leagues this past season. To accomplish all that in 1 year, that's been a pretty wild year for you, Jake. So really, really awesome stuff that you're doing there. So first question, man, like what's the outreach from your teammates and even just people around the league who've seen this to you?
It's been huge. I mean, I've had a lot of my buddies reach out to me, a lot of guys I don't know in the league reach out to me and just say, like, keep using your platform for this. This is really cool. Something that we all need. And so many people in so many different industries, not just baseball, that are reaching out and saying, whatever you need, I'm here to help. So it's been really cool seeing all these professionals in different sports and like physical therapy and like doctors and just psychiatrists, all these people reaching out and saying, like, whatever you need, like, I have the resources for you. And so it's been, honestly, it's been overwhelming a little bit in the sense of like happiness for me and like realizing like, okay, I'm on the right track here. So it's really cool seeing that outreach.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake. You talked about it a little bit. The mini series is going to kick things off. What's the format going to be for that? What's the setup? Where can people find it? Let the people know.
It'll be on my personals on both Instagram and Twitter. It's Bergatron13. That's kind of where I want to start it, and then hopefully like grow my other pages to the point where I can strictly just post on that.
Awesome stuff. Are you going to be doing anything live or all just pre-recorded, Jake?
The plan is to have a live Instagram where people can come in and ask questions about the topics throughout the mini series. That's kind of the first portion of it. Haven't really thought past the 5 weeks in terms of live, because obviously we're getting into season time, and that's obviously my first job. So I got to focus on the baseball, and so at that point it'll be more pre-records and different stuff. But then obviously next off season they'll kick back into gear with live stuff, and like part of it is me just kind of showing who I am and what I do on a daily routine. So like maybe in season I do have some live stuff where it's like, okay, this is what I do on my off days or stuff like that, where people can come in and follow along. So I haven't really thought past it into season because first priority baseball, but definitely going to be posting content throughout the season as well.
Awesome. And then regards to the website, I know you said that's dropping afterward. I think it's really cool. You're going to have blog posts and stuff. You're going to have guest posts too, I'm assuming there?
Yeah. So I've reached out to a lot of my teammates so far, and a lot of guys around the league that are interested in like posting some sort of blog about their story. Also professionals about scientific data going into it and different stuff like that. And then my co-host is going to have his own side of the blog post where it's strictly just him.
That's awesome stuff, Jake. Just taking back to your journey through this, you talked about, you've developed the B.O.M.B system, the acronym. For somebody who's struggling right now, like what's your word of advice? Like is your system what, like, you fully believe in it? I think that there's a lot of value in a lot of the different things that you specifically read out there, but is there a certain order? Is there a certain phase? Where does somebody start to go get that kind of help that they need?
Yeah, I think the B.M. and B are the most important out of the five. Especially if you're struggling right now, I think being able to get at least 30 minutes outside of just a walk, doesn't have to be strenuous, just a walk. I think meditation is something you need to incorporate in routine, whether it's when you wake up or going to sleep, because where am I going with this? I kind of want to backtrack a little bit back to the be active. When you get your heart rate up, like you release these endorphins in your brain that are going to cause you to feel better automatically. So I think that's where you start out of the whole thing. Then I think meditation is the second thing that you add to it. Meditation helps you control your anxious thoughts. It starts to teach you how to separate yourself from your thoughts and be able to realize, okay, that's just my brain talking. Like, that's not who I am. And then be open. I think that is something that comes whenever you're ready for that. I think it's very hard for somebody that's not ready to be open about it to just say, you know what, just be open and just tell everybody. Like, you have to feel comfortable with who you're telling. You have to be comfortable with yourself as well. So I think those are like the three that I would say start with, and especially be active and meditate for sure.
Yeah, awesome. Great advice there to start off with there. And I'm sure you'll go much more into that in depth with all of the steps of the acronym there, Jake. So what's your overall goal for this? I know it's kind of, you touched on it in the brief intro to it, but who do you hope to reach? How far do you want to take it? How big do you want it to be when you have this in mind?
I don't really have any expectations for it. The first thing I tell myself is if it just helps one person out there, that's a success for me. There's no real like I need to get to this amount of followers or this amount of subscribers, whatever it is. Like no, if I help one person out there, that's a win for me, and you can't tell me any differently. So I'm excited for that, and if you start helping one person at a time, maybe one person a day, it just starts to grow and grow, and that's the community I want to build.
I like that goal, Jake. That's an awesome goal right there, and I think that just your platform that you have right now, I'm fairly certain you're going to reach more than one, but that's the best expectations that you could set for doing something like this, Jake. As we're sitting here and we started this show, we're talking about the lack of baseball talk. Do you mind if we get some baseball questions in with you? I think we're all dying here to talk some baseball. So, we asked about the off season already, what you're doing in training. How has the communication been just amongst the team so far this off season?
Yeah. So right now, obviously we can't talk to the team, but the teammates, all my teammates, we've been really active and texting each other, holding each other accountable, and maintaining those relationships. So it's really cool to have a team like that's always checking in on you and being open about different stuff with each other. So Giolito keeps texting me to play NHL, so I might have to hop on the sticks with him. But it's been fun.
Who's better at Chell? You or Lucas? I didn't know he was a Chell player. I'm an avid Chell
No, he's
player.
a Chell guy. He's an EASHL guy.
Okay.
I mean, I'm a sniper, so like I'm gonna go with myself, but Gio's up there for sure.
What does he normally play? Are you guys sixes, threes?
Yeah, we play threes, and he's forward. I typically play center, and he plays winger.
Okay. Yeah, I'm big into the Chell stuff. Lucas Giolito did not strike me as a Chell guy.
I knew he's a big gamer, but California and hockey is not, unless you're like a diehard LA Kings fan or Sharks. It's kind of like it just doesn't seem like it would fit in.
I think with the current state of Call of Duty and all these games, like I think that made him switch to sports games. I don't know. That's my best guess.
I was gonna say, is he a hockey fan, like in general, or just picked up Chell?
I don't think so.
Interesting.
I think it's just like.
You know what you should do is tell him to jump on the Ducks bandwagon since he's round from there.
I know. I agree. He, but it's like, I think he's one of those people that like, people play FIFA and they love FIFA, but hate watching soccer. I think it's probably something like that.
Yeah, that's
gotcha.
Lucas Giolito did not strike me as a Chell guy. So you learn something new every day.
Yeah. Jake, I was wondering, I know you had said some of those other guys from around the league that are down there with you. Have you seen any of your other White Sox teammates, though, throughout this offseason?
I saw one ex-teammate with Dane Dunning, had his wedding done in Jacksonville. Went down there for that. And then that's really it. Me and Jimmy Lambert were trying to schedule a weekend to go out to visit Gavin Sheets in Baltimore and go to a Ravens game, but fell through. Just like nothing that like lined up for us. But I really don't think I've seen anybody else. But it's more just like we're staying in constant contact. Like Zach Collins texts me all the time, Gavin Sheets, Andrew Vaughn. Like we're all like making sure we're all doing the right work, but also razzing each other a little bit as well.
Johnny, my guy, Gavin Sheets, big Baltimore Ravens fan.
Yeah, I mean, right up my alley.
Yeah, this is fantastic. We're learning new things as we go along here. Jake, we were talking about this a little bit before we got on the mic here. Johnny asked you an awesome question. I'm going to turn the mic back over to him because he phrased this perfectly. But we want to hear about that home run.
Yeah. All right. So, Jake, obviously the series right after the All-Star break this past summer, it was against the Astros at home, and we had a massive tailgate before the Sox on Tap crew. We had a bunch of people from White Sox Twitter out there, and we made, because this is the first time we'd seen the Astros since, everything that happened and, the weird scheduling of 2020 only playing divisions and all that. So we made Pinata, and it was shaped like Orbit in a trash can. Houston Trash Bros. We destroyed it all before the game. Had the candy and the sunflower seeds and everything else that we put in there. But then we went into the game, and you guys destroyed the Astros 10-1 that game, and you hit a massive bomb that I thought, from my vantage point where I sit down the third baseline, I thought it was going on the Dan Ryan, and I thought a car windshield was going to be broken. Walk us through that at bat, what happened, and tell us just all about that atmosphere that night, because the place was electric.
Yeah, that was unbelievable. It felt like a playoff game, honestly. It was buzzing the entire night. The boys were fired up. I hit a double off Odorizzi in like the second or third inning, scored Gavin Sheets, and like I never ran out a double that fast in my life. Like I was like the fans just going crazy. I was so jacked up. And so the home run at bat, it was a fastball inside. I don't really hit those that often, especially not the way I did. And it was just one of those things where it was just like magical in a way for me, like just in front of the home fans, like buzzing. I'm glad, like looking back on it, I'm glad I didn't hit my first one away because it was a lot cooler being in front of the hometown. But I forget, I don't know if it was like Vonnie or Collins came up to me and they're like, literally everybody in the dugout was saying he's going to hit his first home run in this at bat. So it was really cool, like coming in after that, because I think everybody's just jacked up. I mean, we're beating the Astros ass like it was 9-1 at the time, and then I put it to 10-1, and like the fans' reaction on a home run that's meaningless for the game was the coolest thing in the world. It just felt like everybody was like rooting for me personally rather than just the team. And it was just this like surreal feeling. And I sprinted around those bases, but Gavin gave me crap for not pimping it. And I'm like, I can't pimp my first one, but he's like, if you don't pimp that one, then which one are you going to pimp? So that was funny.
Yeah. Jake, I don't want to contradict you here, but it's never meaningless at White Sox games because we love fireworks. So anytime we can see it and you can ignite them off for us, we love it. And yes, we were absolutely cheering for you because we love all of our players, and obviously big milestone for you in that game. So it was electric, and never think that it's meaningless. So I just take one thing away from your time here with Sox on Tap. Just please know we love fireworks. Please keep delivering fireworks.
I mean, we were big time mad. We were mad online when they weren't lighting them off when the 2020 season was going on. We're like, we still want the fireworks. I don't know if that was a city ordinance or something. I was pissed off. Despite
the no fans, other teams were still doing it at their ballparks, and it's like that's our staple. That's our thing. Why can't we do it? So
that's hilarious.
I just had to get that in there, Tony.
Yeah, no, I mean the fireworks are the best part. I mean, I think that I've actually had a really good year as a fan this year. I saw your first home run. I was sitting in the 300 level, like right up against the foul pole. That thing was eye level. I saw that one. I got to see Gavin Sheets' first home run. I saw Seby's 3 home run game. Like,
damn,
I've saw so many fireworks this year. That's all I ask for next year, please, is just even
more
pile it on. Gavin Sheets destroyed my pants one day with funnel cake, sugar all over them because I was so excited for the fireworks, Jake. Like that's what we're there for, is drinking beers, watching you boys play baseball, and the fireworks. That's what we love.
Yeah, Jake, awesome. I just want to getting into a little bit of the season. It was a little bit of transition for you in terms of where you were with the Charlotte stints and the call up to the show. What was that like? What's that like managing that, going between AAA, the big leagues, back down, back up? And it's obviously all part of a team decision, and who's available. Injuries play a factor in that. But what's that like on a personal basis for you?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that I've never had to deal with because it was my first full season, So it was tough to manage that, but having guys like Gavin Sheets and like Seby and all these guys that have been there for a really long time, Jace Fry, Ryan Berg, Jimmy Lambert, that super close to me, and we have a really good relationship. It made it a lot easier. And then especially getting up to the big leagues, it made it very comfortable. Like guys like TA, like taking me under his wing and making sure everything's okay. Jose Abreu, couldn't speak better about the guy. I mean, he's unbelievable human, like great baseball player, even a better human. So it was really cool having that camaraderie up there, and they're looking after all the rookies because obviously we had a lot of guys kind of up and down all year. But yeah, it's a lot. You know, you're playing in Charlotte, and then it's like you're up for a month, and you're back in Charlotte, and it's a lot to manage. But as long as you love the game, I don't think it's that much to manage. You know, I just want to play baseball, and especially after being off for 3 years, it was one of those things where I don't care where I'm at. I just want to be in the box, take at bats, and then play third base. So doesn't matter. But yeah, it's definitely a grind, but I wouldn't have it any other way.
Doubling down on that, what was the call up like for you? Walk us through, you know, when you got that first call, you know, how did that all go? Like, what was the thought process there up to that first at bat?
Yeah, so we had a game against, I want to say the Tides, which is the Baltimore affiliate. And I was hitting really well. Like I played the Tuesday and Wednesday game, hitting really well. And then Wes Helms, our manager, brought me into the office and had the entire coaching staff in there and all the trainers, strength coach, and just said, "Hey, man, like you worked your ass off with us. Like this is really special, and like I'm really proud to say you're getting called up to the big leagues." And like it almost didn't register. Like I thought I would cry, but it was almost like, no, like this isn't real, you know. It was one of those reactions. And then Wes told the entire team, and they were all like super happy for me and giving me congratulations. And they said, "All right, you're not playing in this game. Go home. Go pack up your stuff." And flew out. It was either Thursday or Friday. I don't know which day I was. We played that night though in Detroit, and I flew out at 7 a.m. out of Charlotte. And it was 4th of July weekend, so the airport slammed. And it's like there's like the longest lines ever, and I'm like freaking out. I'm missing this flight. Like I'm missing the flight to Detroit for this. End up getting on it and flew up to Detroit, Ubered to the team hotel, slept for like 2 hours, caught up on some sleep, went to the field with the first bus. Like getting on the bus, you like Tony La Russa sitting front row. It's like I grew up in St. Louis. This guy won 2 World Series in St. Louis. Like it's a different feeling. Get to the field, go through my normal routine, and then it sucked because Casey Mize is one of my like really good friends. Like he works out at the facility here, and so I'm like, God, like why do I have to face Casey Mize my first at bat here? And that adrenaline is just it's something different. Your knees are wobbling. You can't stand upright in the box. It almost feels like you can't feel your entire body. And ended up grounding out. But that game I had back-to-back hits with the light ball. Frank gave me like a fake ball, and it basically said like, "Congrats on the first hit, nice light ball," and like acting like it was like my first hit ball. But got that, and it was just a really cool. Like I can't even I can remember almost every single detail, but like the feelings are hard to describe how special it meant to me.
Yeah, Jake, don't undersell that first hit there, because in the box score, that's an absolute missile to the gap. So
it's a double, right?
Yeah, it is. If you go back on Baseball Reference and go and look up that game, it's a double. So
it's all about the stats, man.
Yeah. They don't ask how, they ask how many.
Yeah, you've probably heard that reference before. What was it like this year playing for Tony La Russa? You mentioned, getting on the bus and seeing a manager who you grew up watching. What was that like for you? And how was it playing for him this year?
It was really cool. He's a team-oriented guy, team first. He's always going to protect us no matter what. And he made that clear from spring training, day one. It's like, I'm going to protect you guys. That is the utmost, like that is the first thing on my list. That's my first priority, is to protect you guys. So it's really cool having a manager like that, and you can still like him and have a good conversation with him. And David Freese actually DM'd me after my first game and said, like, just listen to Skip. That's all I have to say. And so that was really cool. And I told Tony that about David reaching out, and he's like, man, that's one of the best guys I ever coached. So it's really cool to play for him. And it still doesn't feel real just because of what he did in St. Louis. Like, I went to the David Freese walk-off game and like watched them win the World Series in 2011. It's just like that guy was in that dugout, and now he's in my dugout managing me. So it was a lot of fun though.
Yeah, Jake, I think we're getting at this here because it's really great to hear a firsthand account, but I feel like a lot of people thought there wasn't going to be a fit there, and there was going to be too much friction in the old school versus modern day baseball. But it seems like Tony warmed up. I mean, you saw when you guys wore the City Connect jerseys, he had the hat cocked to the side. And I think we got I think it was Rick Hahn interview on Redline earlier in the summer, but it was saying that Tony the memes get around to him and he sees it, so it seems like he's enjoying the camaraderie of it. And
he loves the memes.
I'm scared. I'm scared, Jake. I gotta say this. Like, randomly I woke up one day and I scroll in my phone and it says Tony La Russa followed you on Twitter, and this was like a day after I made the Wolf of Wall Street meme.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's just too scary. Like, does he see that stuff? Do you think he sees that stuff, Jake? I don't know if that's why he followed me. I'm not trying to say that's why, but it was too scary for me.
No, he sees it. I don't think he finds it on his own, but like, people show it to him and he'll like laugh and think it's hilarious. So it's cool that he's with the times, technological, and like understands memes for sure.
Yeah, Jake, while we're on that topic, I just got to show you one really quick here if I can hold up to the screen. But it was the tarmac photo when they got off the plane in Houston for the ALDS, and I had to do this one.
That's that's amazing.
Had to do the Sox father one there, so I just thought it was fitting for that. So stuff like that. The bottom line though is I'm glad that he can enjoy that, because there was concern amongst the fan base, and I get it, because there is a disparity in age. It had been over a decade since he had returned to the dugout, so it's good to hear a firsthand account of that. But back to you, Jake. Favorite moment of the season? What was it? I know, I'm sure you probably have plenty. Go ahead and share any ones that you want. But if you had to go here and pick out your highlights, what's favorites?
I would say Game 1 in Charlotte. That's obviously one of the best, just because after my 3 years of no baseball, it meant a lot to me. That's definitely one. Number 2 would be playing in Nashville. We played against the Sounds, the Brewers affiliate, and being able to have like my family finally watching baseball for the first time, because it's close to St. Louis, close to Indiana, close to Chicago. So it's like that was really special to me. My family was watching me on TV and watching all the streams, but being able to see it in person was huge. And then obviously the call up was another highlight. That game, what we were talking about before with the home run and the double. And then I would say like being able to like be a part of the playoff team, even though like I'm not active, but I'm on the taxi squad, and our guys, like our team leaders, Liam and Gio, fought for us to be in the dugout, and we were granted that privilege. So it was really cool to have that experience and be able to sit in the dugout and get my name called for Game 3 and like run out there in front of a packed crowd and the blackout. Like, that was super, super cool. So that was definitely another highlight.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that here. Probably the best atmosphere that was all year. Game 3, ALDS. What was that like from the dugout? I love the video too. Just prefacing this, it's Gavin Sheets when he got to first base. He's talking to Debo, and he says, he just looks around as a pitching change is going. He said, "This place is nuts, man."
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, like we still talk about that. It gives me chills right now. That's playoff baseball, and literally, like, I've been to a ton of Cardinals playoff games, and that one blew it out of the water. Just the atmosphere and the passion behind everybody, the cane guy, like all that stuff. It's just like so cool to see, and so many passionate fans out there. And I mean, I wouldn't expect anything other than that from White Sox fans. So that was really cool. And being in the dugout was even crazier. Like I was nervous, and I didn't have a chance to even be in the game. Like I felt the adrenaline, and I felt the anxiousness that we all felt in the dugout, which was really kind of a different experience. But you know, the fans made it all the better, and that place just rocking was huge.
Yeah, that was the wildest sporting event I think that I've been to in terms of just pure electricity in a stadium. I remember, getting the text message from my wife, who was back at home at the time, watching the game, and just the coverage of the fans. That place was so loud. I think, it sucks that we didn't make it all the way. You guys, obviously lose that next game there. But I mean, could you imagine that building in a World Series, what that would feel like? Jake?
World Series, yeah. No, I can't even fathom how loud that'll be, and just how crazy everybody will be. That's the goal, though, because like we have the team built for that. So that's the ultimate goal, and hopefully sooner rather than later.
So Jake, looking ahead, goals for yourself for next year, man.
Going into seasons, I'm not really like I need to do this or have this goal. I still think I gained perspective with my injury in terms of like just wanting to play baseball and be who I am on the field. Obviously, I want to help the team in any way I can. So we'll see what happens. And no really expectations. I've been working really hard down here, so hopefully that translates onto the field.
Yeah, absolutely, Jake. We appreciate you taking time to talk to us today. So just running it back, just let everyone know your initiative, what it is, and where they can find it. Real brief here, and then we can wrap this up.
Yeah, so it's the Burger B.O.M.B.S initiative. You can find that on my socials, personal socials, on Instagram and Twitter at Burgatron13. Following that 5-week mini series, I'm going to be releasing a website, jakeburger30.com. There's going to be a podcast, blog posts, video clips, and a lot of other stuff on there. So check it out when you can.
Awesome. Yes, the handles are in the ticker of this show too, if you look down at the bottom here for our YouTube watchers here. So Jake, once again, thank you so much for taking some time out of your day, your off season, to talk with us here on Sox on Tap. We really appreciate it. Really cool initiative that you have going there. I can't wait to follow along with it and see all of the content that comes out from there, and all the people that it can help, because ultimately at the end of the day, that's what it's all about.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, guys.
Absolutely, Jake. When you do beat Lucas Giolito and Chell, please let the Twitter world know. I'll toss a like.
Oh, you know I will. You know I will.
Yeah, you're not shy about that.
No, never.
Well, Jake, again, thank you, man, for coming on, sharing your message. Good luck with everything with the new website and the mini series. We'll be following along for sure, man. And let's get some more fireworks next year.
Yes, sir. That's the goal.
Absolutely. All right. That was Jake Burger from the Chicago White Sox. Make sure you're following his Burger B.O.M.B.S initiative. That was this episode of Sox on Tap. Thank you, everyone, for tuning in, and we will see you next time.